Great day. Yes, once again, it's the Melanin Man, aka a voice of consciousness is the Melanin Man. Yes, that's right. On today's date, what is today's date? It would be the 27th of March. March 27, 2022. Yes, the Melanin Man is coming to you once again, aka a voice of consciousness. And we're going to just speak a little bit generally yet specific to what we've all have fallen prey to at some point over time. And it is in our DNA. Yes, a lot of the programming and the sequencing of conditions we've been imposed upon, I may add, I shall say, has a lot to do with where we are and how we think and what we're doing in our whole condition, our whole state of affairs. And it's on a cosmic level. On the cosmic level, there are principles that are at play. On the mundane physical level, there's consciousness, or the lack thereof, that is being processed with old data and played out information. So we're going to say that all that is the all that is the limitless aspects of all that could be possible in a sea of infinite possibilities. So in other words, we think some 60,000 thoughts or more a day, yet we processing and functioning with the same type of thoughts that we had yesterday or the day before or last year. Or so there has to be a reprogramming, a reassignment of neuroplasticity changes. So you have electrical pulsing energies that flow in and through and outside and throughout. And we are able to function and utilize every aspect of what we are exposed to in the environment. Now the choice, not our natural choice, but the choice is to function at your lowest state. Why? Because you've been programmed by a minimalist type mind, a limited scope of understanding about what life is all about. You've been programmed with that. So now when we really stop to think about it, everything is based off of one's own perspective as a result of this. Now, if everything is based off of what a particular person is thinking, why is everybody thinking the same thoughts over and over and over again? So therefore, in order to change whatever is the current reality, all one must do is simply change their mind. Now this sets into motion a reprogramming of the brain, which is the center or the hub of operation for the body of the being. This is the coder and decoder of all information. a type of interceptor or receiver and transmitter of light, which is encoded information ready to be processed and decoded. Thoughts create the chemical reactions in the brain. We always saying thoughts are things. Thoughts create the things that we think about. The purpose of your imagination is to imagine things outside of, creatively imagine, and there you will be magnetized to. As well as the thoughts create the chemical reactions in the brain, as well as sending messages to the emotions electrically. We are bioelectrical, biochemical, electrical beings that magnetize ourselves to or from or to and fro to whatever our circumstances, conditions, and whatever our imaginations will allow. Whatever we allow our subconscious to accept, it filters in and allows whatever we decide that we sincerely, genuinely want in our lives. However, not knowing the functionality and not knowing the protocols by which energy, frequency, and vibration works, we don't know the power that we have. With this tens of trillions of cells in our body that emit at least 1.4 volts of electricity each cell, and you multiply that time tens of trillions, you could power up stations, cities. You have the power to generate a nuclear explosion. So we're talking about some serious processes that are in your hands, and the fact that you don't know or remember is a good thing, because you'd mess around and mess a whole bunch of stuff up if you really had access to the full set of circumstances that will allow you to use your electromechanical, electromagnetic powers completely, fully, with the mind that you have. It would not be healthy. So, now, as well as like we send messages to the emotions electrically for the manufacturing of what connects to or to become attached to or attached from. So our thoughts, energy, frequency, and vibration is magnetizing us to whatever we are imagining, whatever we are seriously focusing on. We're drawing that to us, or we're repelling it from us. So we must understand that a big part of what's going on is biochemical, as well as electric, biomagnetic, bioelectric. We are connected to every phase and every aspect of nature right now. So understand, your spinal fluids bathe the cells with the intentions to love at whatever level of conscious awareness that one retains and can maintain, period, or hold. Or so let's understand something. everything is love. Even if you're destroying something, it's because of love. So this system has to be redone. It's a redo. It's a restart. It's a do-over. Whatever you want to call it, but that's where we are. And it's out of love because it's gotten so far off center, so out of balance, because all we've been focusing on and perspectives have only been fueling patriarchal modalities, a one-sided view. You know, if it's not this, it can't be that, so we must do it like this. That's old paradigm stuff. Yin and yang is present in all. You can't have one without the other. It doesn't matter what race or what, not race, but it doesn't matter what gender, because it's not gender. When you say male and female, we're talking about principles with energy, frequency, and vibration, not a physicality of sorts. However, there are principles that are at work, at play, that are present, that we have access to in any given moment. See, the cells, your cells, the tens of trillions of cells, are always consistently recording and keep rearranging and arranging codes to accommodate this perspective that you can hold or that you're holding, regulated by the heart's willful intention to love. And I say everything is about love or out of love, or love is at the root of it. Why? Even if you're a bank robber or if you like to kill, it's a level of love. You know, it's not about what level of love. It's more about understanding, and overstanding that you are the orchestrator of whatever is happening in your life, whenever it's happening in your life. This is part of what we did not get or forgot. We got it, we just forgot it. We all got it, we just forgot it. So now we're in a place and a space, a galactic cycle of sorts. You know, every 26,000 years or something in that arena, we move to another part of the cycle. Just like every so often the hours change, every so often the seasons change, every so often the moon moves and changes, every so often day turns to night, night turns. It's a cycle. Everything is cyclical. You're not in a linearity aspect unless it's linear in cycles. So while it's moving in a linear state, it's also revolving or circling. And it's moving, revolving, and circling as cycles do. Think about a bicycle, you think about a unicycle, you think about a tricycle. Those are aspects of what a cycle does. Rotates, repeats. So we're in a cycle now that we don't remember. However, it's bringing us, calling us back home. All of the stories that's been told are the stories about your possibilities and your abilities to be present and aware, consciously aware of who you are. All of the stories, not just one or two, every last single one of them, they're talking about you. So we are in the cycle that best will accommodate you returning to the all that you are as the all that is, being present as you, whoever you are. See, everything is plugged in. Everything is connected. We just forgot that we was plugged in and connected. Nothing's never ever been unplugged. There's no being unplugged. You can't be unplugged. You can't be unplugged from infinity. You can't be unplugged from the eternal sacred self. You can't be unplugged. If you have a soul, you cannot be unplugged. Period. Therefore, our bodies need balance. See, we've been all off kilter, out of centeredness, away from the center. And so now a balanced flow of energy, not too much or not too little, is conducive for good health. Let me say that again. A balanced flow of energy, not too much or too little, is conducive to good health. If you lean too far to the left, you could fall over. You lean too far to the right, you could fall over. So if you're centered, or you find yourself wobbling on the center, then the intention will allow you to align yourself with your center, because you're putting forth the effort, because the intention is to be centered just by your action. And what goes with that? The consciousness. What goes with that? The reality that you are intentionally, willfully and intentionally, with your heart, is expressing the creativity of the sovereign state of who and what you already are. See, this is about realigning yourself with the soul that you are. Everything has a spirit, but not everything has a soul. And those that have the soul is who I'm speaking to. I'm not talking to everybody. I mean, you might be listening to it, and if this ain't for you and you don't get it, I get it. It's okay. But this ain't for you then. And it's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with you being exposed to something that's not for you. Now, if you are able to acquiesce and find yourself centered, then the seeds that will have been planted, and you'll come to yourself at some point. Again, our bodies, just like our minds, just like our whole system, must be balanced. Then you have access to the powers that yin and yang, or the masculine and the feminine principles, have to offer. Not heavy on one side, not too heavy on the other. And then you're drawing from all. If you're centered, you can pull from all sides. And it's not a straddling the fence. Maybe that's the mindset it puts you in, but it's not a straddling of the fence. If you're centered, aligning yourself with your true nature, and you're accessing all of you, because all of you is masculine and feminine. But it's not masculine and feminine from a gender perspective. See, we get stuff confused because that's part of the program with words. We think, oh, masculine and feminine, you can be, if I'm a man, I can be a woman. If I'm a woman, I can be a man. No, that's not what that means. What that means is you have depended on and became so attached to those things that are out of balance, that has rendered your system out of balance. Your system internally, externally, and your perspective internally, externally. So we're in a paradigm. Ain't no more paradigm shift. We're in it, baby. We're here. Now it's making the adjustments, because of the environment that you're in is vastly different. Now you think it's not, it maybe looks the same, however the energies are different. And if you are stressing, it's heavy. If you're happy, it's light. And if you're at peace, it's light. If you're constantly looking for stuff and always got to have an issue and something's wrong with everything and everybody and blaming everybody for how you feel, it's heavy. That's heavy energy. And there's no place in this paradigm that we're in now for heavy energy. So it's the same in the way that we live our lives, that we must be balanced. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to do whatever you want to do. Just know when to say when. Okay, I can do so much. I can only do so much. And then let me chill. If it's always one way, always the same thing, always, okay, you can do that too. Because again, sovereign souls make choices that are of their own volition, and it's their responsibility regarding what they love or don't love. However, we must know ourselves. And if you're not practicing this understanding, not a belief, you have to know that you are who you are and connected to the all that is, and you represent that. You are a representative of the all that is, right where you are. It doesn't matter what you say you are, or what they say you are, or what you think you could be. What are you right now? People can say whatever they want to say. The key is, what do you say? Because that's what's going to hold the most weight with the soul of you. That's going to connect you to the all that you are, you being authentically true to what you already are. Not something pretentious and how you want to play and plan to play. And you can do that, but be honest about it. Whatever you're doing, you got to be authentic, genuine. And that takes courage. It takes courage to stand when everybody else is sitting. It takes courage to sit when everybody else is standing. It takes courage to do you. And it's not about your ego. It's not about trying to prove something to somebody else. You must align yourself and know yourself. So the way we live our lives, based on what we think, how we feel, what we're doing, how we're moving, all that stuff is reflective of your heart. Your heart reveals it. Your heart reveals the all that you are, whatever that is. So balance is essentially imperative to the systems or the system of being one. Balance is essentially imperative to the system or systems of being one. We can see this harmony and balance in life as the balance between the energies of yin and yang, or more simplistically, masculine and feminine. the two different but very catalyzing energies of the universe. They're different, yet they express, or the expressions or creative expressions come from the same source, you. They're different, however, they are principles, not morals, because morals are baked into the soul. You don't have to give or be moralistic if you're being the best you can be. If you're aligning yourself with the all that you are, you don't have to worry about morals. You don't have to worry about respect, because that is baked in. You don't have to worry about integrity. You don't have to worry about any of the things that take you to a higher frequency, because it's baked in. When you align yourself, all of that comes with it. Happiness, peace of mind, not wanting to be in a bunch of mess all the time. Your energies will keep you from those frequencies that are beneath you. This is what is not wanting to be told or understood, or don't want to be shared, or been kept away from, or whatever. And again, just like the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, you've had the ability to go home all the time. You decide. You've had the ability to go home all the time. There's never not been a time when you couldn't click your heels, think your thoughts, snap your fingers, and move to where you say you want to be. Now, your heart is going to tell you if you really want to be there, because what happens is you magnetize yourself to what really is in your heart. So think about it. For a balanced lifestyle, just enough food, water. You're going to always have air. But a healthy, balanced lifestyle can't be overindulging. You can't be attached to. And if you do, you got to be able to let it go. So this is love. Now, while it may seem like fantasizing for some to consider, and it really is, because all of existence is a virtual reality from the mind of creation. So in other words, just like you have a dream and you wake up, the all that is the creation that is dreaming you're a representative of, you're a reflection of, you're the one animated by the source. You are the creative expression of the source from the so say it this way: the mind is all and the universe is mental. The mind is all and universe is mental. So you're an expression of that which is the all. And that which is the all is being all. Is being all things. All things, everything, all the time, at any time, right now. And you are an expression of. The trees are an expression of. The sun is, everything's an expression of this magnanimous force, source, if you will. And again, it's a virtual reality from the mind of creation, or from the mind of the all. You are a divine expression of the all that is, expressing itself as the all that is in this now moment. The energy body While we have flesh and bone, at source, we are an energy field embedded into another energy field. Electromagnetism is our body's pure nature, and science has attempted to measure these frequencies with advanced machinery like EKGs and MRIs and scanning for years. They don't have the answers to you specifically. Why? They give a lot of generalities, but they don't have specifics. Why? Because your powers, you the only one has the keys. See, divinity knew or knows what it's doing, and that no one can come in and usurp, like they take your land, or they take your car, or they can take your home, or they can take countries, and they can go in and take all. They can't nobody take what is yours specifically, dynamically. Divinity has a fail-safe system that cannot be broken, and no one else can steal it. And guess what? They've had you for however many hundreds of years, maybe even thousands, and they've not cracked any of the codes. They got some generalities, they understand a lot of things with all of this stuff, but they don't have you giving yourself completely, because your seed, the seed in your heart, the seed that was in you was dormant, and now this system, this cycle that we're in now is now allowing the seeds to open of the heart with the compassion. And now that doesn't mean you soft. Compassion has, see again, when we've allowed ourselves to think about defining something, along with those who've given definitions to these things, they've not been thorough, because a lot of what has been defined has not been defined at all. You can't define infinity. You can't define eternity. You can't define divinity. You can't define it. It's limitless. It is ongoing forever and ever and ever and ever until eternity. And eternity means eternal. It's never going to stop. So we're in the cycle now, and we've been here before. See, this earth thing just started 6,000 years ago, or however many thousands of years ago. It's millions of years, if not billions of years old. And there's always been consciousness, meaning there's always been a form that has been filled with consciousness. Everything that exists has some level of consciousness infused in it. So there's never not been a time when there was not a being of some type present to process consciousness. So we need to understand this thing is not limited, it's limitless. And as long as you're thinking limited thoughts, you're going to keep your vibratory frequencies low, and then you'll be exposed to the nonsense, the ignorance, and all of the stupidity that goes with low hanging fruit, or low frequency, low resonance. So this is where we are. We're out of that. We're pulling, the ascension is not an actual moving up the chain or the ladder or anything. It's more about the ability to be able to process energy beyond the low state of frequency that we've been on for hundreds of years, or however long it's been. I don't really care about that. I'm not trying to be all particularly specific because those who have a soul decode what they need and they move on. I'm not here to train you, teach you nothing. You already know. However, we can inspire and spark the memory. That's not teaching. I'm just a catalyst to help spark, just like you can be a catalyst to help me spark or help someone else spark. That's all this is. Is no one bigger or better or bolder or brighter than anyone else, because everyone has a light. Everybody's light might not shine as bright as the others, but it's not about a comparison, and we're not in competition with one another. We're here to share what we have to offer. That's what this is all about. So we've been inundated with a mindset that's been one-sided for so long. It's created a sickness, psychopathic, if you will. And so what we're seeing and what we're experiencing in this time now is the last vestiges of those psychopathic ideals, those inconsistent, out of balanced thought forms that have been able to be processed. They're no longer being processed. They're slowly fading and dying, if not already dead. So we must know this. Again, electromagnetism is our body's pure nature, and science has attempted to measure these frequencies with advanced machinery. Well, the machinery ain't advanced. You're the advanced machinery. You're the advanced technology. Those scientists are trying to catch up. See, we're not really, because we're not really fully aware in remembering who we are, we think they have advanced technology. No, you are the technology. Everything that they've gotten, whoever they are, the scientists have gotten, they've gotten from you. We got to know this stuff. And it's time to know it now. Not to speculate. You can go back in time and talk about the ancestors and all that, but they dwell in your DNA. So who are you talking about? You're talking about yourself. An earlier form of you. We got to know this. This is what we know as souls. I don't know what, I'm not here to speak to nobody else. I don't care if you want to, this ain't about no debating. I'm not interested in telling you about, Africa and all of that's great. Everything has its place. But we've been compartmentalizing our nature. And you can't compartmentalize divinity. It is all-encompassing. And you must know that, Divine One. You must know that. There are an innumerable amount of studies that demonstrate or show energy pathways and points in the body that conduct electricity with or without needles. You think you getting plugged into something and they're doing something and they're giving you a jolt or they're giving you a charge or, clear, to get your heart beating. It's you. The electrical pulses are you doing what is needed. There are massage techniques that stimulate energetic effects, as well as yoga postures that have been found to increase electrical conductance at acupoints. But science never used to believe in the existence of energy pathways, but they do now. Why? Because none of the other stuff is working anymore. They can't deal with in looking deeper into Einstein's theory of relativity. Relativity is relative to your thoughts. What happens is relative. Being rich is relative. Being poor is relative. Everything is relative. Now, how are you processing the information? Because that's what we're talking about here. And you have the ability to process the information at the highest point. And when you do, you pull and draw and magnetize and connect yourself to all of your power, not just the ones that will allow you to make money, not just the ones that somebody else says is valuable and is important and we can use that. No, I'm going to use it. And I ain't mad at nobody. And I ain't going to use it to hurt nobody. Because why? Because I'm be hurt myself. This is how this thing works, baby. You can't put your energy out and call yourself trying to do something to somebody and not know that it's going to come back to you. So it ain't about that. It ain't about fighting. So I just had to get on here and say this. This was kind of a general term, generally speaking kind of thing. Speaking about the all that is, and the all that is as you. You, me, we as one with the all that is being the all that is. Being all. This is where we are. So, I'm done. The Melanin Man, aka A Voice of Consciousness, is out.